very devastated that, what you see maybe in your bank balance in just 3 months time is just like a dream. You wake up, your wealth has shrunk 80%, and that is your 99% of your portfolio value. And it is very devastating.
Hey guys, welcome to Modern Wealth Podcast, where we aim to empower, enrich, and evolve your lives through people who interview, improve your lives financially, physically, mentally. Guys, it's going to be an amazing series. And today we have a very special guest. It's a dear friend of mine and a partner of ours as well. And he is the founder and CEO of Tokenize Exchange. For those of you guys who don't know, this is one of the, it's an exchange that I use myself. It's a cryptocurrency exchange. And we have a guy who will be telling us a lot of insights into what we can expect in crypto, how he built his company, how he went through the pits, the peaks, and the valleys. It's going to be a very exciting podcast. So without any further ado, QY, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, Rash. Yeah.
Could you just introduce yourself, to the audience, for those of them who don't know you?
Yeah.
Who are you, and how do you start everything, man?
Sure. So my name is Qi. I'm the founder of Tokenize Exchange. I started in late 2017, a cryptocurrency exchange platform. How I actually started is just because I love cryptocurrency, right? That year, 2017, I literally, trade a lot of cryptocurrency, and eventually, I started a platform. And the interesting thing about cryptocurrency is that I don't really see it as an investment in the beginning, right? I actually brought my first cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum, just because I need to write coding on it, and tested the feature which is called smart contract. And then eventually, my 1,000 become 2,000. Then I was like, what is going on? And it is just less than 2 weeks time. So I get into more serious. I almost, put half of my wealth. Then after that, I put almost all my wealth into cryptocurrency.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, it's a very fortunate time. 2017 is one of the best year in the cryptocurrency world, and I made quite a fortune from it. And then I was thinking that what can I do more? Since I spent almost 24 hours in this asset class, and back then I think the challenge is access, right? I literally, if I want to buy more than 10,000, I have to transfer money to Japan or to US just to get the liquidity. And I was thinking that why is it so difficult when Singapore is a financial hub? So this inspired me and motivate me, to start. And back then we are thinking just a marketplace, right, where we can be the distributor or like a broker for our user or community to get cryptocurrency. And then we went into all the rabbit hole, and we never look back. And in the end, we become a cryptocurrency exchange.
Wow, interesting, man. So again, if I'm hearing correctly, it's essentially you were trying to solve a problem, right?
Yeah.
As a user, this was something that you found really annoying.
Yeah.
Right? Like, dude, I couldn't buy more than $10,000 worth.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
what exchange were you using back then, man?
Back then, I think I'm using CoinHako.
Okay.
Yeah, I get my first liquidity from CoinHako. Then after that, I use Kraken. I use Big Tracks.
Big Tracks and all that.
Yeah.
But the problem was, 10,000, you have to go to Japan and stuff, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Very, very tedious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the problem you're trying to solve, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So you're asking questions, finding out how, and you found the solution.
Yeah. So I mean, like, in order to solve this, in the end, I run a business that evolved around that lah. Yeah, and then that's where the birth of Tokenize Exchange happened. Yeah.
Bro, crazy, man, dude. From somebody who's just trading crypto to somebody starting an exchange, it's two different things altogether, right? Like, as in, I would think so, lah, right? It's two different skill sets altogether. Do you have any prior business experience to this? Like, were you an entrepreneur before that?
Not really. So actually, Tokenize Exchange is considered my first formal venture.
Wow, your first venture.
Yeah, I tried to sell bakwa when I was 18.
Okay.
Right, but it didn't end well, lah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what happened, bro? What happened to bakwa, bro?
Don't know. I mean, I just tried to sell it, and it didn't fare well.
Okay.
But then, but after that, during the uni time, final year, I'm always trade stock market. I start with stock market investing, trading. But all my career, for my full-time so-called venture, I'm all in information technology industry, so-called IT industry. Finance is just my passion, my hobby. But I started with stock market, then forex. I did futures in terms of like indices or commodities like precious metal, like gold and silver. Then the last asset class, and hopefully it's really my last asset class, is cryptocurrency. Yeah, cryptocurrency, which in the end, I get serious, and then I decided to build a business around it.
What made you believe in crypto? even especially after you started the business and then there was this massive winter
Yep.
where everything just came crashing down. Like,
Yep.
dude, I want to know that story, man. Tell me more about that.
I think one very interesting thing is that actually I know about Bitcoin very in my very early days. I mean during my university day. So maybe
which year was this?
I think 2011. Actually, in
Wow.
fact, 2009, 2010, when the BitTorrent, we use a lot of BitTorrent. So I actually born in Malaysia. I born in Johor. I born in Johor. I grew up in Penang. And Penang, I mean, aside of famous of food, it's famous of other not so good purpose also,
Like what,
like money game,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So back then this kind of concept, Bitcoin concept, is very popular in Penang. So this actually also become my biggest obstacle to believe in Bitcoin, right? Because at the early days of Bitcoin, everyone talking about this is going to be 10,000 times, 1,000 times kind of investment, and it rhymed too similar like money game, right? So I didn't really believe it. In fact, I still laughing it when I'm in FX in 2016, when the Bitcoin is below $100 at one point of time. I laugh at it. I don't believe it. But I think what really changed me is two things here, because first thing, I'm actually quite very interested in technical analysis, and when it break $1,000, I think the certain point in my belief might go wrong, and I have to really re-evaluate and re-look into it. The second thing I think is a plus that I can code. So when I can code and I chance upon Ethereum documentation, I can hands-on. Then I can see maybe what people cannot see. People have to believe it. People have to understand the theory, but I can go into the back end and see how it works, as a whole. And I think this gives me a very strong conviction that this is not a scam. This is real, this is very innovative, and this is going to change the whole financial landscape and even other verticals. I think that's where it gives me a lot of confidence, and that's where I dare to all in all my wealth into it. Yep.
Wow, dude! When you talk about going back end and everything, what's that process like? How do you go back end?
So I think the one of the interesting thing back then when Ethereum just surfaced in the industry for first 2 years, I think they have a very very strong documentation. Means as a coder, sometimes we look at documentations, technical documentations where you can see how to say a line of libraries. Then you can refer to that. You can hands-on, you can code, and you can deploy, right? And I think that's where I need Ethereum in order to make this happen. So all these things is like it's like Lego, right? You are not just seeing a model, but you can putting all the pieces together and form building blocks. So I think that's give you a lot of confidence that this is not just a scam. You're not just not putting money, getting 10% a month kind of return, right? This is something that is very real, that you can see how literally the whole architecture come into life. So it gives you a lot of confidence that this is going to change the world, right?
And how did that first winter affect you, man? Like,
Devastated.
Dude, tell me the story.
Yeah, because it's my religion.
Hold on. So let's give some context, bro.
Yeah.
We were at highs, right? I can't remember. Bitcoin was at 18, 19,000.
Yes,
right?
almost 20. Yeah.
Almost 20,000. Ethereum was at what price, bro? I can't remember.
1,004.
1,004.
Yeah.
Around 1,004, and then it just came.
Yeah.
Right, came crashing down, like in a matter of 2 years. It went all the way down to 3,000. Ethereum went to double digits, $89, $70.
Yeah.
Right. So how was that like? How's the experience? Did it shake your beliefs?
I think that really shaped my belief. That time is really worse. Maybe I have to break into a few phases. Maybe I start with the first phases. Is my religions. Like I made my first bucket of gold, a few bucket of golds back then, and it really is my religion that changed my life. And back then I unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, but most of it is very unfortunate. All my wealth, 99% of it is in crypto. I literally feel fiat is shit, you know that kind of concept. Like local currency, fiat, they are all a scam. Like is subjected to inflations, and I only have 1% in fiat. So back then, and I'm running business, it's in a very high risk environment. So back then, when things are coming collapse in like 3 months, you can see prices go into half. Another 3 months, another half, or and we are not talking about one time of 50% down. We're talking about 3 times or even 4 times kind of 50%, every 1 to 2 months. So it's very devastated that, what you see maybe in your bank balance in just 3 months time is just like a dream. You wake up, your wealth has shrunk 80%, and that is your 99% of your portfolio value. And it is very devastating, right? And I think back then, I'm running a team. We also raised some funds in Ethereum, and literally what we can see that we can last 10 years become only 1 year.
Wow.
Then we have literally need to let go some of our stuff, and it's very devastated. So that is the first phase of my experience. But things get worse on the second phase, where when things last for a year, right, a year of winter, where I can see, people like, for example, I have my very good friend like Rash in the industry told me that I don't think this industry is going to make it, right? I'm leaving, right? I'm going back to the banks. So around 10 of my peers, 8 of them decided to do that. They really leave. Some are my counterparties, some are my industry peers. They're closing their shops. Some are service providers. They have no choice because we are running out of cash flow, and they have to make a decisions to say that this is a at least a stop for now for my cryptocurrency journey or investing or even the career. So I think that back then is very devastated. I even met our so-called competitors for coffee, and because this is his second winter, right? For me, it's my first, and I asked him that, what do you think? Do you think this industry can last? That is so bad that we don't even know that the industry can be there for the next 5 years. And of course, he said that, yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. Bull market will be back. We have to go through worse than this. Because if they go through Mount Gox, yeah, it's 10 times worse than 1819 winters, right? So I think it gave me a bit of convictions, and then we just have to endure. And I think the last phase is that when we really run out of cash flow, then COVID happened.
Wow.
So I was thinking that I think I've done my best. I gave 120%. I even told my shareholders three months ago before COVID happened that we might run out of cash flow. I've tried my best, but when the times come, you have to accept the reality that we have to close the shop. Right? Then COVID really happened, and I cannot go out. And back then, our first 3-year ventures, we depend a lot of users from Japan, Korea. Like they are permanent residents or resident in Singapore, but they are overseas people. But I literally cannot travel and meet and all these leads and prospect. So I think maybe this is it. But then little that we know, that is the bottom of the market, and things start to pivot from there, and then we enter a new bull market.
So things started picking up again, Bro, but there was a period of nearly 1, 2, 2.5, 3, nearly about 2.5, 3 years, Walao, where you had really a struggle fight. You see your wealth completely being diminished. You see people
I think the good thing is that I start early in 20s. So when I'm in my 30s, I look back, I was like, shit, I'm not going to do it again. I have no way to do it in my 30s. It's like so exhausting, it's so mental draining. The 1 year in the industry is like 10 years in the world. And it's very draining. I literally sleep at 2 hours every day back then in my 20s, and I can do it. I can end my days at 6 a.m. and I can appear at office at 9 a.m. And in my 30s, I have no way I can do it. It's like I don't know how I do it for the past. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting and unforgettable memories and journeys. But I don't think I want to do it again.
If there's one biggest takeaway that shaped you to who you are today, what would it be, bro? That phase.
That phase, I think I want to give a lot of credit to my previous venture.
Yeah.
It's a startup. I'm a full stakeholders there. My founder is already in his 50s, and I think he inspired us a lot. I think not just me, but everyone. The mentality of like nothing is impossible and can do attitude really changed me. Like when it helped a lot for my first 2 years venture because we are very self-funded, bootstrap. All our funding at the early days are all friends and families funds. After that, we made some angel investor. It takes a lot of not just greed, but definitely luck play a huge component, and a lot of hardworking and mentality to really pivot in this landscape. So I think I give a lot of credits to my previous startup. Yeah, and yeah, feel really grateful for that.
Amazing. So tell us, man, 2021 bull market comes around, bottom of market, things start picking up like crazy, exchanges start exploding. I still remember that period of time where all these exchanges couldn't take the volume of people trying to open accounts because people were stuck at home trying to figure out what to do, trading. It was everything, bro. Stock exchanges, crypto exchanges and all that were picking up like crazy. How was that period, man? Was it damn busy for you? Was that phase?
I remember in not just even 2021. I think in late 2020, I remember one day I had office. I decided to get a co-working space because there's a point in time when COVID hits, we retract everything and go back to work from home environment. But after 6 months in that kind of environment, I realized that we need a physical office space. We start to restore back physical office, start with co-working space. And I remember that's just first month of me in the co-working space alone before all my team coming back to office and work there. I literally spent 8 hours at the desk, look at the emails and monitor the whole operations, and so it was crazy. Right, the people that start to participate is at a level that we never see before, and it's very motivating. And of course, you know, when we enter 2021, early 2021, where we can very fast see Bitcoin first reach 64, before it go down again and before it reach the new all-time high at 69. That is crazy. The kind of activity level is very, very hopeful. It's our greatest year, 2021, and the whole venture so far. Yeah, it's very, very motivating. Yep.
But again, very busy, and you know, I can
Yep.
imagine, man,
Yep.
it must have been crazy busy. Was it busier than your earlier, like, you know,
Definitely, that's one of the craziest year,
Yeah.
and it's a good year lah.
Yeah,
Let's
for
put
sure,
it
for sure.
as-
Financially rewarding, and it was
financial
fantastic.
rewarding, yeah. Then it's a very motivating for the whole industry.
Very
Yeah.
nice, very nice. And then if you can fast forward a bit, right? And then again, this is the thing with crypto, right?
Yep.
You never know. The next disaster is about to strike soon.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Like, you never know when
Yes.
the next shit happens and when shit goes down, right?
Yep.
So, you know, come 2022 June, and then Luna happens, right?
Yes, yes.
Luna happens, and the entire crash. You know, Do Kwon, a lot of them were in Singapore as well.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Three
yes.
Arrows, you know, all of these guys. Like, do you know them?
I don't really know them in person, but
okay.
I mean like we are maybe, you know, maybe we are, because I think before all this disaster happened, I was like at Bahamas, so maybe, you know, when
You were
we
in Sam Bamer's house, bro.
no lah, we are, I mean unfortunately at his conference.
Okay,
So it's like maybe, you know, we are just like at the same area, and he will just hustle and pass by me.
Okay.
Look what, maybe when we enter immigration, he's just like in front of me.
Okay.
So we are that close, but then we are not close.
Okay, sure.
So
You're close in terms of in person.
yeah, in terms of that kind of
Okay.
proximity,
Okay,
physical proximity, but
Okay.
yeah, but we never know that after that
There was
conference
so much
comes
exuberance, right? There was so
Yep.
much exuberance. There were so many, you know, companies that were, you know, again, Three Arrows were highly leveraged,
Yep.
overly leveraged,
Yep.
right? Borrowing from everybody else. You know, your Sol, Luna, Avex, and all that. They were
Yes.
hyper bulls.
Yes.
You had Do Kwon, who was giving away free money, literally.
Yes.
Right? And there was this period of exuberance, and people were like, this cannot be stopped. This is a hyper cycle, right? And then it just one pin, poof, and everything just crashed, right?
Yep.
Like, it was crazy, man. Like, when in that period of that hyper optimism,
Yeah.
how were you feeling, bro? Were you just running around, or were you like, oh, dude, this is a little bit scary? Like, you know, do you remember?
I think during the Luna incident, I think we have a lot of disruption in terms of operations, because imagine that one of the top 6 coins in the world go bust, you know, in 1 week times. That is actually very devastating for the whole industry, right? It never happened in the, you know, since Bitcoin is being set. I mean, there is coins that in top 10 ranking and it fall out, but it's not over a week time, right? That is very devastating, and we literally see a stable coin that is so well praised and, you know, make millions for those, you know, for during the COVID time, for those investors that come early enough and become literally zero, and they are, you know, very well. We even heard in 3-degree kind of connections, people suicide, jumping down. So it's definitely very heartbreaking for industry players like me. But I think the good thing is that back then, in terms of business, actually we are not affected at all, right? For Luna, personally, I mean, you know, maybe this is a bit like post-event, but I mean, still want to be honest that, you know, I don't have any, you know, I don't even hold that coins, and I think it's just because the heretical behavior of the founders sort of discouraged me to hold. I definitely got invest before, but I sold it after when, you know, I feel that the founder maybe at the peak of his like too prideful, and you know, I don't feel good to continue hold his coin. But then I still hold a huge responsibility to make a decision that, you know, we support Luna, we even list UST, and then it gives some exposure to our audience, right? So I think that is something that we are a bit, how to say, still hard feel for what is happening back then. And I think it's a good lesson for us, right? And then it also shifted and made the regulation very tight right now, to look into stable coins and even potential coin listing, right? Yeah.
regulation came down hard after that, man. It was
Yes.
crazy, right?
Yes.
They were tightened so much of tightening measures. Like, did that affect you?
I think definitely. I mean, I think maybe the one of the good thing is that early that year, but it's definitely bad for our business, is that Singapore has stopped all the marketing, cryptocurrency marketing.
You cannot market, bro.
Yeah, and that time I think the cryptocurrency we are still looking Bitcoin at 60,000 plus, 50,000 plus, and everyone was thinking like, what the hell the regulators are doing, right? But then in the end, I think it gives a lot of cushion for the retail because of a lack of marketing. I think in a way the growth has paused, and the impact are actually sort of being controlled, right? That's how we see on the hindsight.
You have companies like Crypto.com taking up MRT spaces, huge and everything,
Yep.
and then you suddenly see, bam, everything stopped.
Yes.
Right, everything
Yes.
stopped.
Yes.
Massive regulations, no advertising. How do you even get customers, bro? Like,
Yes.
it's not easy.
Yep. To be honest, it's very bad for the growth of the business. But if you look back, or even when we going through the last year, I think our focus is not on user growth that much, but it's about how to salvage the operations and also how to really ensure that our community are able to drive through all this havoc safely, right? Because I think after Luna, I think there's a very huge catastrophic effects and contagion risk on all the players.
Everybody,
right?
yeah.
I mean, some of our peers unfortunately have gone down because of putting nine digit in Anchor protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah, borrowing lending, because of that, getting a huge cascade effect,
Yeah.
and they have to collapse and wind up their shop. And they are all go through the winter together with us before, right? Our industry peers or giants. So I think that is very, very devastating. And from then onward, even until today, I think it sort of wrecked the whole lending and borrowing landscape. And until today, I think the confidence on that still not yet restored to a previous
Previous highs,
winter, or previous high kind of confidence level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is huge actually.
Absolutely, and I think the next one after that, right? This was the pivotal moment, right?
Yes.
Not top 6, but you have the number 2 biggest exchange in the world.
Yes.
This is directly related to
Yes.
your industry, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have FTX, this entire feud happening between CZ and
Yeah.
SBF happening, and then suddenly, bam! Right, you have
Yeah.
one of the best exchanges, like very, very nice interface user.
Yes.
People thought it was again
Yeah.
licensed by, as in Singapore. They were invested in the company as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Right, and then that crash. Wow, damn, that must have been really, really crazy.
Yeah, I think that is another level kind of wreck moment for the whole industry. Is that there's nothing too big to be failed.
Yeah.
Another thing is also because we are in the exchange vertical. When Luna happened, we can always classify ourselves like we are in an exchange. What is happening that is affecting is lending and borrowing. But when FTX happened, I think we have no excuse but to be dragged together down by that very devastated event where everyone unfortunately has lost confidence on exchange and everyone start to shout.
Do you have mass withdrawals and everything happening?
Definitely. Yeah. So that last year is actually quite a bad in terms of outflow. Yeah, Luna cost around 50% bank run because everyone flight to safety, right? FTX is another level like 70 to 80%.
Wow.
So it's a huge regressions for all the players.
Like whatever you see, just pull back.
Yeah, we just pull back to pre-COVID level,
Wow.
right? So it's like, yeah, it's quite devastating.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, that must have been, and again, people's confidence affected, people messaging, asking. But y'all, as in terms of operations wise, besides the cash withdrawals, were y'all affected per se?
I think the good thing is that personally, I will be very transparent. Definitely, there's quite a huge impact on my personal level because I'm also an FTX user. But in the business level, I think we have FTX is just one point of liquidity point, right? We have been in the industry for last year is fifth year, this year is 6th year. We are not just limited one counterparty. Even you are the first or you are the second, right? It's always our commercial wise decisions to have multiple contact points, and we are looking about double digit. So I think on that, it helps a lot. And also luckily we are not like the giants, because the bigger you are, the bigger of your balance sheet you have to deploy in other counterparties, right? So I think that is really savage in terms of exchange side. But I think what is really set us back, or we have to undergo the forceful regression moment, is really about the verticals contagion risk. Like it's like people lose confidence on exchange. people even lose confidence on the whole industry. People are not going to do anything. Like they are going to sell away their position, all back to the cash flow. And we are actually fighting at one of the toughest moments in the whole financial landscape also, where interest rate has go back to pre-COVID level.
Yeah.
And I mean this year we go to another level that we never see. So that really bring things to another toughness.
Of course. Dude, bro, I respect you like crazy. Like, dude, how you see you go through a challenge after a challenge after challenge, and this is none of your own problems, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, this is outside issues that are, hammering you again and again and again, right? What gives you the ability to say, yeah, let's go, let's stand up and fight again? Or you tired? Like, what's the mindset when you're going through all these things, man?
I think like we definitely first thing is we are very all passionate about cryptocurrency. I mean, also the second is that this make us what we are today, right? In terms of wealth, if without cryptocurrency, we are very very hardworking people, but we will never reach this kind of magnitude of wealth. So we have a lot of things to be grateful for the industry and also where we are in our business. But I think what also very important that we have to value is also trust, right? Because we come not from a strong backing, but it's about trust of our customers, our communities. So at the level that we are still able to move forward, I don't see why we should stop or why we should give up, right? And we all now, we see, if you ask me what is the biggest things that I realize on the shifting, is that I come from an environment where the price is wrecked, like go down 90% or even 99%, and people around us who are in the industry for 7-24 hours, they are leaving. Today, if you ask even my staff, they know that this industry is going to stay forever, but it's just who are going to stay, right? So it's just a survival of fittest, and we just have to survive. Yep.
You survived long enough, you reap the fruits.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
fantastic. So the mindset has completely changed.
Yep.
So it's no longer like, will it last
Yes,
anymore,
exactly right.
So it shifted from will it last anymore to we know that it's gonna be here for a long time.
Yes.
And let's last.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. But yeah, man, it was pretty crazy, right? In the last, so 2021, FTX happened. So many companies got drained of their funds.
Yes.
We saw that boom in NFTs. We saw the complete crash.
Yes.
Right? Like, and again, no fault of their own. No liquidity, no participants, no buyer sellers. How do you even survive and last, right?
Yes.
You have balance sheets being completely wiped out. Right, so it was a tough environment.
Yes.
Right?
Very
joke.
tough. Yes.
Very, very tough. But you guys still around, still fighting, still growing.
Yep.
That's
I mean,
fantastic,
thankfully, everything is really we credit to the lucks and everything. We really credit to the blessing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. So I'm very happy to support you guys as well.
Thanks, Raz. Really appreciate.
No problems at all, man. It's a great exchange. A lot of my guys actually do use Tokenize to get their cryptocurrencies and everything as well, which is amazing. Very, very simple, easy to use. I highly recommend it. You all can click on the link somewhere down below.
Use
get
Raz referral link, get free tokens.
Get free tokens. If you want to get some free money, make sure you use my link down below in the description bar, right? So, bro, what is the okay, so let's talk about crypto right now, right? So right now we're this crux where we see sort of like, some momentum coming back.
Yep.
Some momentum, some bullishness coming back. People are like, hey, look, there's going to be a bull run coming very soon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The talk of, spot, the spot ETF coming out, launching and all that stuff.
Yes.
Like what are your views, man? Are you thinking that, hey, we are possibly going to see a next bull run very soon, or what are your thoughts?
Okay, so I have two theses here, but NFA, disclaimer again, it's NFA, not financial advice. I'm talking about my personal perspective. I also don't represent my company.
Yeah.
So I personally have two thesis, investment thesis for cryptocurrency. Right, the first one, when things are at the darkest moment, right, where I'm just doing a very rational thinking. We have been 70,000 before. We are coming down to 50,000 for Bitcoin. If it can go up to 30,000, it's 100% return. 100% return in any investment and we are talking about 6 months. My prediction back then for early this year is 6 month time. 6 month time, or even give it 1 year for the whole 2023 to hit from 50,000 to 30,000. It's 100%, right? For any sane investor to look at this kind of potential upside, I think it's very hopeful. Yeah, we definitely, worth the risk to reward, right? And why not buy just one Bitcoin?
From 30 to 50.
Yeah, if you 50,000 at the bottom, and you can buy any below 20,000 back then. And when you drop at the 50,000 at the lowest, you can just buy.
In what currency, bro?
US dollar.
US dollar.
Okay. Yeah, so you just buy one Bitcoin and hold, or you buy a few Bitcoin and hold. and you have a potential 100% return in a year. Sounds good, right? So that's my first thesis, and little that we know, in 3 to 4 months time of first 3 to 4 months time in 2023, it happened.
Yep.
Right, it go back to 30,000.
Yes.
Although it didn't last long back then, but it still go, and you still have a chance to realize your profit. Right, so that's my first investment thesis. Because that happened so fast, it actually gave birth to my second thesis. So my second thesis is that I have strong belief that this year price movement of Bitcoin is going to mimic 2016. So in 2016, what happened is that Bitcoin from 100 actually moved up to almost 1,000.
Wow.
And 17 January, 17, I still remember, I was still laughing at 1,000, and then it dropped back to 700. I laugh. But then when you go back to 1,000 and break and go above 1,000, that's the moment actually I changed my mindset, and I want to learn more about Bitcoin. I want to learn more about blockchain and understand why it can break above 1,000. Right? Even it's maybe manipulated by someone, but it's not so easy to mimic, you know, to control an asset class that can go in this manner, right? And we are talking about back then in 2017, it's already like 8 years in the market, right? I don't think there's a Ponzi can last so long, and I start to look at it seriously. And you know, fast forward to 2023, we are looking like now we are halfway there. Today, I think we just see another, you know, new high in this year, which we are looking at 36, 37,000. And I don't think we are that far-fetched to go back to 69 before this year end.
Wow.
Or even maybe we are overlapping to next year, January. With ETF, today the news just come out, 90% is going to be approved. And when we do that, that's come to my, you know, that's always what I try to, you know, is it hippo? How is it called?
Hypothesis,
You know, hippo, like, how to say? Like, try to make myself believe, self-believe that ETF is going to approve in 2020, but it never happened until today, right? But now finally we come to a reality, and it reminds me gold when they get into ETF, is from 300 plus straight away go until 1,006, 1,005, 1,006. It's a 4 times kind of price increment. We're talking about 4 times a multiplier. Right, and I don't think Bitcoin cannot mimic that same movement. There from now, you know, if ETF approve, we see 4 times. And if even we ended like 40,000 or 50,000, 4 times is 200,000. Right, we are talking about crazy kind of price appreciations. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's your thesis, lah.
Yeah. So I'm still very confident that we will see all-time high before this year end, or at least in Q1 2024.
Wow,
Don't even need to be after halving. That's my belief.
Interesting. Very, very nice, man. And what about the alt scene, right? Like, you know, with altcoins and everything. Like, where do you see some trends happening? Where do you see some some potential you really look at?
I think there are some of the coins, I think, you know, like recently Solana has appreciated quite a bit. But if you ask me, I'm still very old school, you can call me that. I'm still prefer Bitcoin, Ethereum for now. But alternate coins, I think the new projects will be more hopeful than, you know, the old projects in terms of price appreciation, because old projects have a lot of baggage. For example, Solana, you know, unfortunately, a lot of Solana hold by FTX. And when they come to a liquidation point, all this baggage has to be thrown to the market, and it will definitely create price suppression. Where supply in a short period of time overwhelm the demand, right? But then there are a few other coins I think is worth for a look, because if Bitcoin can go back to the 70,000 range, Ethereum can go back to 4 to 5K, then the problem with Ethereum will surface again. Gas fee, slow, then L2 narrative, right, that can solve it, or even other L1 narrative that can help it, will be very hopeful. And if you one thing I can maybe just expand a bit here, I think zero knowledge will be coming will be materialized and become very impactful in next 12 months.
Zero knowledge.
Zero knowledge. JK.
Oh, ZK.
Okay. Yeah. So I think ZK related coins, of course, maybe we put in AI a bit related coins.
What are some examples of ZK related coins?
I think there's JK Sing Era, one of them. I think even Polygon is going to GK. I think everything is going to GK. Yeah, they're going to GK and experiment with that. So yeah, just have to pay attention to this kind of new integrations. But I don't know whether regulation will come hard on this, or is there any scrutinized. But I think this will be the next big thing.
Interesting. Thanks for your insight. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode so far. It's been absolutely amazing. So many gems of knowledge that you got from QI. we're gonna get right into extremely valuable meat really soon. But before we do that, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe, and comment down below what are some insights or what are some questions you want to ask about cryptocurrency to Chi, and he'll make sure he'll answer you as well, right? So again, let's get right back to the interview. So Chi, I want to ask you a question, bro. So very important, right? We're talking about people coming back.
Yep.
There will be the excitement coming back, price appreciation, all these things, right? So, will it be the same, right? Like a lot of the bad actors, is it going to be different this time? Or, from what you've seen through so many cycles,
Yep.
do you think the same shit will happen again?
I think I think it's no. To be
No?
honest, I don't think it's no. Maybe we take a step back and see why previously there's so much excitement and there's so much what we call degen. It's because maybe we are entrapped in the enclosed area. If you take a step back and remember how the bull market started back then for the cryptocurrency, is that everyone actually stuck at an enclosed area because of COVID, right? So everyone, because of board, maybe it's bored or anything, everyone become a bit more like, I don't know how to psycho. I mean, I'm not the psycho, but it's just degen.
Okay.
Right? They just feel like, it's so boring. Why not we just go big or go home? Yeah, and then to create that kind of excitement.
Okay.
Right. But today, if we look into the world right now, I think everyone is a bit more calm.
Okay.
Right. And people want different things in their life, and what how the money flow back to the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that kind of mindset anymore, but it's more long term.
Okay.
Right? I think when we talk about ETF, we talk about pension fund, everyone is talking about 10, 20, 30 years of financial planning. And I think this is interesting because all the money that come into this space, I think it's the first time we talk about old money, the real old money that's going to deploy. And the old money won't go in, they won't talk about 2 to 3 years time frame. They talk about 10 years, right? And they look into the really investing cycle. So I think this is the two things. One thing is that I think the volatility will start to be a bit not so exciting. Means that, instead of now we're seeing like, Elon Musk going to buy, Tesla going to buy, we see boom, 40 plus. Now we see one day 1,000 up, 2,000 up. It's a bit bored, for people who have been in the industry for long. But
so your feeling is that the volatility is gonna calm down a bit, right?
I think the volatility will come down huge, right? Like, but I think it will still exciting. Like every day you see is going up, just like how we see Tesla share going up. I think the kind of excitement will be still there, but it will be slow and steady. So that's how I feel, right? But I think it will be lasting a bit longer, and I think it will be giving more time for the business owner or project owner to build. Right, in a more conducive manner. Because we don't want to, like, 1 year, suddenly, we go up 10 times, then we have to scale 10 times, then next year, everything have to go
down 10 times.
Then how to build business in this kind of environment, right? It's so hard to plan, right? But now I think there is more important to plan. We still have to hustle hard, we still have to go into a very fast pace, but I think things can be last longer, right? Which I think is good for the industry.
Okay, so that's your viewpoint of the next 10 years,
Yes.
right? So old money coming in, things becoming more steady, right?
Yes.
But really thinking more of a longer term perspective.
Yes.
So for you degens, you all don't have much time, right? Just so right? But let's see. Again, in crypto, the interesting thing is there are so many different categories.
Yes.
Right? So many different categories, so many different things in which people participate in.
Yes.
You have your meme coins, you have all the different things as well, right?
Yes.
So, different stroke for different folks, man, can do what you want to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? But so, Chi, running an exchange, bro. So what do you see, right? So what do you see on the back end? Who are the guys who really make the wealth, bro? Who are these guys who really make wealth? Are these the people who are trading, going in and out, holding, generally? Where do you see and what kind of category of people really make wealth?
Understand. I think there are a lot of opportunity in the industry where different type of people can be making wealth. One of my greatest close friends, I think Rash also know, is promoting cryptocurrency through education, and I think he make huge wealth, 10, 20 times of his previous wealth before he started this venture, and through an educator and bringing cryptocurrency to the public also can create wealth. Then there are people who are very good in technical analysis. They trade and look at the chart. They also make a huge wealth. And of course, we hope operator like us, where we persevere all the way and be a survival of fittest, we can make a bit of bucket of goals from here also. And there are project protocols, like Ethereum founders, who are way younger than me, and I think he's still in his early 20s, also make their huge wealth. So I think we are in a very nascent landscape where there are a lot of opportunity. You can be a research report, you can be a on-chain analysis tool, or you can be a trading tools, right? Helping people automated things, and AI is coming next. AI for trading is coming next. I think there are too much possibility that we cannot even tell.
So when you're talking about all these things, right, bro? Let's say somebody's watching out there and he's like, gee, I really want to get into the Web3 space,
Yep.
right? I want to start working in the space. I want to start learning more about the space. I really
Yep.
am interested.
Yep.
What can be their first steps to get into the industry? What do you recommend they start from, maybe?
I think now there are a lot of opportunity,
Okay.
right? I think it's more important that for those people who want to come in, take a longer stand approach, right? Because we see like as a business owner, we see talents who come and the times are very good, but the people who stay are the one who are going to make the most of it, right? Because they went through the worst moment, and we actually become stronger during our worst moment, right? I think stay long enough in the industry is the key, key and success for their career if they want to excel so-called in the Web3 verticals or so-called the cryptocurrency and blockchain. Because we are still in the beginning. Yep.
Okay, so try what you want, but make sure you stay.
Yes,
Have
yes.
a longer term perspective.
Yes.
Make it a 5-10 year kind of
Exactly.
thing, right? That you
Yep.
really, really want to do and
Yep.
commit to.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Fantastic, man.
Yep.
So, dude, tell me, man, 5-10 years, where is Tokenize going to be, man?
So Tokenize actually this year we are in our 6th year.
Okay.
So 10 years horizon is not really far-fetched from us.
Great.
Right? It's just another 3 to 4 years. And we are 6th year in venture, but there are still a lot of things we have to do. Right? We have only license in Malaysia. It's going to be a boring stuff, but this is also our vision at the early days where we want to bring access to the people. Unfortunately, the access is not coming for free. It's coming with a huge scrutinize from different country and regulators, where we need to get their blessing, we need to get the license. And now we are in a second stop in Singapore. Hopefully, we can get our IPA soon. Then, we are looking at other regions like Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan. We are also in the last phase of registration, just waiting for the regulators there to give us blessing. After that, the other South Asia regions like even Philippines. After that, we even looking at Middle East, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. So where we're coming from is that we respect, we pay a lot of tribute and highly respect Coinbase, and hopefully we can be the Asia Coinbase, right? That's our 10 years vision. Yep.
Wow, Asia's Coinbase, fantastic, man. I look forward to being part of the journey with you, bro.
Thanks,
right?
thanks,
As a user, by introducing my customers and everything as well. Oh man, I'm so excited for you, man. So, dude, one last question, which is this, right? So, for anybody, I think a lot of my viewers who will be watching are generally, people who are investing or trading in the markets, right? People who are, these are the general people who will be watching on my videos mainly, right? So, what is the one advice you can maybe give them for them to, succeed in the markets,
Yep.
right? Like, you've been a trader yourself, right?
Yep.
You've traded stocks, and you know the game, right?
Yep.
So, what is the one advice you can give them to really last and be profitable in this journey?
I think maybe I can summarize the 3 things. Sure. And I think first thing I just saw at my peer Facebook, one of my very good affiliate partners, which is in cryptocurrency educational business. I think he gave a very good timely reminder for all the industry players that at a good time, for once we have become the most resourceful and huge wealth in the cryptocurrency or blockchain landscape. But I think everyone is trying to be very prideful. Everyone try to compare. Like everyone is making a lot. But then they will try to compare that, Rash is making more than me, right? I should be, getting more. And everyone turn very greedy. So I think the first thing is try to, don't compare. I think first thing is I will say don't compare. As long as you have a profitable strategy, don't compare with other people, right? Be contented with what you have, and the only biggest opponent is always yourself, right? What we want is outperform ourselves rather than outperform others. So I think first thing we have to always give our timely reminder is don't compare. Second is risk management, right? If you take a step back and look at all the devastated Sega or events are all because everyone don't have a good risk management. Everyone become too degen, right? And actually, if you take a step back and see, it's actually fall back the first one. Because everyone compare. Everyone want to be number one, right? If we don't compare and we always timely remember that risk management is everything, we always want to have chips in our table so that we can do the next bet. So if we can, we have to know how much we can lose. Risk management, that's where there's a saying that put only 5% or put only a fraction of your portfolio wealth into cryptocurrency so that you can sleep well at night. If you cannot sleep well at night, you are doing something wrong, right? So this is the second thing, risk management. And the third thing is DYOR, means do your own research. So if you just follow what other people say, I don't think it will help. But like for me, I mean, just take me as a personal example, because I have seen the code, I do the technical side, I have so much conviction, and then I,
Plug in the industry.
plunge into the industry, right? So I think, if I may, I would like to summarize into these three key things here.
Okay,
Yep,
fantastic,
yep.
fantastic. Risk management is key. Do your own research, right?
Yep.
That's very, very important. First one again was
Don't compare.
yes, don't compare. Be
Yeah.
contented. Never ever compare yourself to somebody else. You are running your own race, guys.
Yes,
you
exactly.
are running your own race, right? Fantastic. You know, when you first started out, so you were coding, you found out about Ethereum, you coding, you're trading a lot and all that. What were the first steps in really starting an exchange, bro? Right? Like, again, at least in my mind, I'm thinking, right, trading is great, but you be the house, even better, right?
Yep.
At least that's what I think. Right?
Yep.
So what were the first steps, your first employee and all that? How did that all work for you, man?
I think the earlier days is definitely the toughest,
Yeah.
right? Because at the early days, everyone think that cryptocurrency is a scam. We are doing a money game.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
not a lot of talents want to join us. So we started with people that the most closest with us, friends who who always take risks in startup. So they made up our first 10 staff and colleagues. But after
Did you
that,
start with initial funding?
yeah,
okay.
we start with our friends fundings
Okay.
who like my ideas, and it's not a huge amount, but it keep us started for the first few months. Then after that we met our angel investor. Then after that we made more angel investor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, dude, because the belief is not there. People think it's just gonna be here. It's just a hype,
Yeah.
a fate,
Yeah.
right? So you have people joining you initially, like, wow, how would they even be convinced?
Yeah, so I think for the earlier days, I think my approach is different. Is that this is a very risky industry, but you get paid.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to do this for free for me,
Okay.
and it's just another job. But you are betting on the maybe potential in the next unicorn.
Okay.
So I think the people that I look, they are all in the startup vertical. They understand what I'm talking about, so they dabble and try.
Okay.
Yep.
So they took, and a lot of them are with you until today.
Yeah, I think there are a few still with me until today, and this is their 6th year
Wow.
for their career.
Literally all the way through, lah. Right?
Yeah. They started during even after their NS. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So, dude, so I want to ask you a question. So, there are thousands of tokens, right?
Yep.
So many tokens out there, many tokens which are worth nothing, right?
Yep.
Meme tokens created every single minute,
Yeah.
right? Every day, right? So, when y'all are listing these tokens and all this stuff, like, how do you decide, you know, how does your team decide, which tokens, and what are maybe some red flags which we, as investors, we look out for to know that, hey, this one is a bit shady, cannot make it, or whatever.
Yep. I think well, back then I think before Luna we take highly we look highly on the market cap metrics. Means that we only look for like maybe top 200 market cap, biggest market cap, because that is also symbolized that they are more liquid and they are more traded, and they are more reputable in a way. But today we took more due diligence. We took more consideration into the due diligence of the founders and the management team. So the founder must demonstrate some, competency and also track record in past business building. And I'm not trying to put this into like how to say a fixed answer or a strong reference point. But then the founder that has robbed people before, has unfortunately scammed people before, most likely there's a recurrent events. So due diligence for the management, I think, is very important, and also the projects. Yeah. So we put more thoughts and also dive deeper into that vertical.
Awesome. So we know that the coins we look at and Tokenize, for example, they are properly vetted through, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We take that very seriously.
Yeah, of
And
course.
every coins nowadays is backed by legality also. Means that there's a law firm that is also looking into this and ensure that this is suitable for like this is not a security. Right? This is really compliant with the MS requirements. Yeah.
And again, one more thing to just share is it's true that not all exchanges follow that process, right? Some exchanges they do post anything, right?
Yes.
But with Tokenize, your process is that lah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, correct.
proper
We don't
legalities.
we don't represent all other exchange
yes.
businesses, but I think this can be constituted how Tokenize looking into the coin listing for now, and definitely we are improving in terms of weekly basis, right? You know, we are continue strengthens and scrutinize further because we take really pride and also assurance. You know, we want that kind of commitment. Sorry, not assurance, commitment to ensure that our community are safe from dabble into this Web3 worlds or the cryptocurrency landscape.
Amazing, bro, amazing. Okay. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been absolutely amazing. I learned so much. Gee, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Rash,
Rash, for the invitation.
Appreciate so much, guys. If you enjoyed it so much, make sure you open an account with Tokenize. Right, the link is right down below. Make sure you use your link. You get some free TKX tokens as well. Right, if you loved it, make sure you like the button. Click on the like button. Comment down below and make sure you subscribe to our channel, guys. Till next time.